An antique's value is in the eye of the beholder.
Uh-huh. Yep, you're right.
Okay. Um.
Exactly. But
Don't
none
make
of
sure
them
this is all
believed me.
good. Fucking very tired. I'm. I probably should have done this another day, honestly, but I mean, might as well just get rid of it now, cause I feel like this would be like a one and done thing. Well, no, not a one and done thing, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. But
Um.
none of them
All
believed
right, I
me.
think let's just go to go. All right, hold on. Let me just actually make sure. I think the audio should be okay, so I don't have to worry about that. I have to fucking make sure everything I have, everything I have.
An
My
antique's
God,
value is in the eye
I
of the
cannot
beholder.
speak. Holy shit! Everything else I should have prepared right here, because this is gonna be one of those. This is gonna be one of those
None of them
sessions.
believed me.
All right, let's do it. And with that out of the way, hello everyone. Welcome back to another session of Genshin Impact. I am your host, Kiria, and today, two things honestly. One of
An
them,
antique's
we're
value
it's
is
gonna
in
take
the
a
eye
little
of the
bit.
beholder.
We're just gonna show off like one of the new events that came out a couple of days ago, which is the rapid capture, flash cut filming or something like
But none of
that.
them believed me.
Toikin. Um, that's going on for like about a couple of days already. This should be the third day in a row, if not the fourth. Um, we'll just show off a little bit of gameplay for that. It's not too much. I already showed off like the intro cutscene or like the
An
intro
antique's
dialogue
value
that
is in
leaded
the
up to
eye
that
of the
event.
beholder.
Exactly. But none
Separately.
of them believed me.
But the other thing that we're gonna be doing today, is gonna be podcast time, I guess you could say. Fucking, I don't know. It's basically the discussion on like the upcoming Luna 7 banner that's happening. I believe within like 3 weeks or so. 2 weeks
An
at
antique's
best.
value is in the eye of
Yeah,
the
let's go ahead and
beholder.
get things started. Let's just go ahead and just
Exactly. But none of them believed me.
mosey on through to all the way over Nya to the Fountain of Lucine. Uh, this is like where the boss was, where we had to grind materials for Navia. Um, Also, I forgot to change one thing on this. Let me go ahead and do that really quick. I guessing this was just because of the, what was it? What was the last thing that we did this session? What was, I honestly don't remember. Like I said, it's been a while, because I was like, oh, it was, Mouse PI. Right, which, unfortunately, I did kind of wish, I did kind of wish that we did that today, but honestly, how do you say it? I did stuff like as soon as I got home, and then I took like a break, hang out with a couple of people online. I rewatched the video presentation for the discussion because I knew I was gonna forget some stuff. Um, Again, it's been like a long day. I guess work kind of just kicked my ass. It made me forget some stuff. Um, yeah, so I had to rewatch that, and then took a little bit more of a break. And I guess, haha, I lost track of time, and now we're basically not doing the thing. We're not killing two birds with one stone today. But at least I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to get this done regardless. So at least tomorrow uh, that playthrough will come up. At least there'll be a lot more of it. At least, hopefully. Fuck, it's tomorrow's the weekend. But yeah, let's just go ahead and just get. Let's just go on with this. All right. So, I guess the idea for this basically is you do these small little tasks. You follow the directions, and you follow the prompt, and then basically just how do you call it? Okay, you just follow the script and it just plays out a little scene. I don't know why, again, I guess I'm just tired. I was trying to figure out what the fuck to say, but then it didn't happen. So I guess for some reason, let's just go intended the way they were doing it. Obviously, right, if you complete it, they give you like more stuff to do. So, but I'm just gonna do it how I intended it originally. So this one is very simple. You just choose one. If you've never done this, basically, you just choose one character from like the selection, and then you just follow the prompt. So. Very simple. Hopefully. I was about to say, what happened there? Alright, apparently it did not follow the script. Alright, what the hell happened there? You guys saw me grab the light. Alright, what the fuck? What?! I'm so confused. That did not happen the first time. So I don't know why I was having issues now. But yeah, basically you're supposed to follow the prompt, and then... I'm guessing you're just supposed to stay within the camera's view, but that doesn't really make sense. That's so dumb. That never actually happened before, so I was like very confused. Right here, I knew I messed up the first time because, yeah. But yeah, nothing too special. Obviously, you're very limited on what you're supposed to do. I was like holding down the fucking the direction I needed to go, and I was moving slowly. That's intended. So, alright, so let's, oh, well, I was about to say, we can't, like, you know, I'm trying to see if we can get, like, a good angle on this, because, like, the one we had before did not really cut out too well, so, this should be fine. Honestly, I've watched this, like, 3 times already at this point. I still have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm guessing the idea is that we keep finding these treasure hoarders everywhere. Just showing about. And they were like, oh yeah, we should probably arrest these guys. And then the final scene just basically explains it. Because now they're all in trouble. And then that's it. I'm guessing that's it, the whole plot, which, again, I don't really get it, but it's just, yeah, like, what the hell, but yeah, that's the intended way. Obviously, now you're able to do, if you complete the, task, you can do whatever you want with it, but you still technically have to follow the prompt, you know, in the sort, and then this one was a little bit more interesting. I'll obviously do the same thing I did yesterday for this, so let's just go into buy. Basically the idea was that you needed to either pick characters from Liyue, or you can also choose the Mannequina and the Traveler. So I'm just gonna go choose how I did normally. So I believe, if I'm correct, I chose where is she? Oh, I chose Gaming for this one, right? Chose Gaming. And then Mannequina, and then the Traveler last. Yeah, but this is like actually a little bit better, because at least, you know. This one, at least you can just kind of just do normal attacks. So. Honestly, like, I think like my best approach was just doing two normals and a charge, within the exception of one, which we'll probably get to shortly. And then the same thing here. Or I think this one, it was like one of the exceptions actually. Because you could just do this. Yeah. It was 2 exceptions. It was Gaming and Manakina because I did this. So. Just normal charge and normal. And then I think I also did... Oh no, I did the default item, how I wanted it. There we go. And then just add or at least, you know, try to like, kind of like maybe go center stage, but yeah. Honestly, it's like, this is like one of those events where it's like, it's just here, just to have like a little bit of fun, but it is kind of cool nonetheless. At least some of these so far. I have no idea what the third one is, but we'll see. Since that's gonna be blind at this point. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's not bad, but I mean, there's probably people that actually did go crazy with this. Alright, third one. Let's see. Return of the Director. As you know, I once collaborated with my older brother on Employees Leaving the Factory, a work that cast the eye on the stories of several individuals. This time I hope to build upon that experience and through flash cuts tell a story set in a distant land. So let's just go ahead and just go ahead. Ooh, you get to choose Jai, Miko, and Kiara. Alright, so use the same character to participate. Oh, okay. Oh, definitely Yai Miko, I feel like. I think Yai would be like the great one in this one. I'm okay with it. I never really used Yai before, so this will be very interesting. Oh, it's one of these again. I'm guessing you just really have to be in view of that, or else it won't count. That's messed up. You actually had to like tilt the control stick for that then. This one has to be stupid interesting. Why is it just like this? Alright, let's see it. How are we doing this? I guess it... Oh, well. You know what? I want to see what they did with the camera here. You know, it makes sense for Yai to be here. She is, you know, she manages this place at least. It's like, whatever. I feel like you could do more with that though, but sure. We'll take it. Alright. And with that, we completed the third one. These unlock basically every day until like the last day. So, we'll probably do another one of these. Like, just like, it'll be like a short session for this. Cause, actually we don't know how long this ends. Cause I might add this with the upcoming Spiral Abyss update. Or like the Spiral Abyss when it releases. Which is, I think it's like within a week or two. I think it's like literally next week. Like literally next week, Saturday? Let me double check. Yeah, literally next week. So probably like Saturday we can do it again. But yeah, this thing basically ends when? Yeah, we could probably do like everything else for that day. So that'll be when it happens. Okay, let's go to our designated area. I think, you know what? I was gonna say, I think it's appropriate to go here. I know we went here before when we did our what was it? We did our podcast update. I think we did the same thing when it was for Linnea. So I think having Nicole's spot as our usual meetup is like the best, the best place we can do for like discussion talks. And speaking of Nicole, oh man, I can't wait to talk about you. Holy shit, you are a blessing in disguise. Like holy shit. Let's see. Is there a cool place we can go to? No, probably not. All right. Let's go ahead and just go sit back and just enjoy the view. All right, hold on. Let's go. I was gonna say, yeah, let's just go. Maybe. Oh no, there's no spot here. I was hoping there'd be a spot here. Oh well. I guess the one with the tea tide thing would be good. Okay. All right. So let's get this. Let's get this started. So obviously, today's topic and main point. Luna 7 presentation just came out. And holy shit, this fucking update is insane. So we're finally getting back to main story shit. Archon quest. So obviously the first thing they showed off was the trailer. The trailer was basically we're going back to Sumeru. And something big is happening, and it's gonna be probably the most chaotic thing ever. So I know I wasn't like playing Genshin around that time. Obviously for fucking reasons I was not. I did not have like the hardware to play it. I mean, obviously, right? We started playing Genshin when it came to Xbox, and we stuck with it since. But back all the way in the updates when it came around Sumeru, there was an upcoming, like, I guess like a scrapped like title to an update. And apparently people caught on that, and it was basically like years in the making for this to basically be a thing. So you can tell that this was huge. But basically the trailer started off, and I apologize in advance if I just kind of like, you know, move around a lot, because holy shit, I'm trying to like keep awake while we're doing this. This is very late at night, like I said. But the trailer starts off with Kale having a nightmare of sorts. And the idea of this, and like the whole thing with this is huge because two things. One, obviously, right, Kale is heavily influenced by this because of one character returning. Not in the way you think, but we'll get to that when it comes to it. But basically, Kale is having a nightmare regarding a giant tree burning down. The giant tree burning down, in regards, is the Irminsul, the thing that basically is the giant data storage of all of Teyvat. Like the thing that basically says like, oh hey, you're part of Teyvat, you're now you're recorded within like the database of Teyvat. If something happens to Teyvat, to Irminsul, basically fucking everything is just going haywire. Basically, like all the shit is just going down. Like dude, basically like imagine trying to remove a bunch of memory from like a hard drive or something. This is basically that. the whole world will just burn the fuck to the ground. And then we get character introductions, right? The 3 new characters that are coming in to this update. Nicole, obviously, is probably the biggest one out there. She is probably like the most important character in this fucking update. So we got her introduction, and then immediately after we get Lohan. We've already seen Lohan before in Varka's story quest, and also throughout Dormanport. But we only got bits and pieces about him. They actually introduced him a little bit more in this one, which was nice. And then the third character we've also seen in Dormanport before. Her name is Prune. She's the little child that was involved in hanging around that sign involving Alice, apparently. And then she was also seen with one of the nuns, and she was also seen with Klee as well, trying to clean up like the mess that from like the graffiti, right? The graffiti. So we get more of her, and then we get more scenes for the Archon quest, and 2 things, right, with this update, or with this with the whole thing with Samara. One, Dottore is back, but you're probably wondering, okay, well, didn't we just kill Dottore in like Luna 4 when we were duking it out with trying to get Columbina back? Yes, but this might be like an imposter or like a copy of Dottore, because remember, well, I can't say remember because I never showed it off to you guys, but back all the way in Sumeru, towards like the ending of it, Dottore said he had a bunch of segments, like laying around just in case something happens to him. And this is one of the copies that actually, manifested after he died. So there's that. And then the other thing that people kind of noticed during that trailer was another, well, I wouldn't say reveal, but it seems like they kind of teased a future, or like not a future, but the next Fatui Harbinger being involved in this, and people are speculating this is supposed to be Pantalone. I believe that's his name, Pantalone, which sounds weird. Yeah, I know, sounds like a stupid like nickname a kid would say, but yes, this is basically Pantalone. We didn't see like his whole face, or like we didn't see anything really at all, but according to like the thumbnail of like the presentation, you can see him like on the far right of like the image, and he's just there, like kind of like doing like the evil turn, like that kind of bit. I don't know. I don't know why I tried to show it out. That was kind of stupid to me. And then going back to Kale, right? The reason why this is important to her is because she was the one that was involved with the Torrid the most. This is basically Kale trying to find a cure for like the illness, but the Torrid fucks up her life. Like basically ruins it down to a degree. And she's been traumatized by him ever since. So this is basically like a hope and prayer, like a calling for Kale to hopefully finally get the justice that she needs to. Well, it's not Dottore directly, but it is still Dottore nonetheless. This is hopefully giving her like a closure of like her chapter in her life, like to basically forget about Dottore by just by basically not having that in her life anymore. Which hopefully, because I know I mentioned it in like a couple of like sessions I did way back. I really wish I like read into like the manga that they had, or like the extended lore, because like hearing about like Kawae's like past like that, it just really hurts the soul. And I really hope like she gets like the justice that she needs. Um, but yeah, that was the whole trailer, and then they did the break, right, as per usual, and then they showed off the cast that was going to be showing off the presentation, or like the stuff that's happening in the next update, which we had obviously the two new characters. We had Nicole. By the way, her fucking VA is like, so I know like a lot of VAs are like quite different from like their character counterpart, and you can kind of tell like in their voice, because Nicole's voice, like the VA, like the voice, her actual voice is like way different. But I kind of like this, like that. I kind of liked her like in that way as well, because it just sounds so different, but it still sounds like Nicole regardless. It's just like a different, like, I don't know if it's like an accent or like a tone, but I kind of like that one as well. And then we had Lohan as well. He was actually kind of like, as you would think of like basically Lohan. Oh my goodness, my bad. Again, the screen faded to like gray, so that's why I had to move it. And then we also had the return of Alice and Lumine as well. Their VAs, which is really nice. Again, I kind of like how they actually did bring the voice actor for Lumine a lot more often, like they did with the last update. Because it feels like, again, they've been putting a lot of main focus towards Ether as like the main protag, and then Lumine being like the sibling, like the antagonist. So, I mean, nothing wrong with, fucking, nothing wrong with that, but it does kind of make you like feel like we're disregarding like every other player who chose Lumine as their character to be like the main protagonist. So it's kind of nice to have her like be part of like the presentation. So just to give more affection, like, give more respect for her being a main protag. Okay, so they talk a little bit about the Archon quest. We see like basically like I guess like the whole like beginning plot of it is like basically apparently Nahida is unconscious. And then this causes like the Sumero enemies, like at least like the ones from like the desert, to attack like more often, or like they're more like aggressive. And then they also revealed like, oh hey, like Dottoro's back and all that. And then they showed off a new Dottori boss fight. So I'm guessing this is gonna be like, and this is actually interesting. I don't know if this is like a scripted boss fight, like you just go throughout the Archon quest, but it seems like when they showed it off, this is actually a new boss like you can fight like for weekly rewards. I don't know if that's the case, and it'd be interesting too, because this is like, I think this is gonna be like the first time where an area might have 3 boss fights like in total. Because I think if anything, well, I guess if, I don't know if you count Mondstadt as like one that has 3, because you have Adronis, or I don't remember the wolf's name. Audrius. You have Storm Terror, Devalton, and then you have the King and Queen like chess pieces from like from Alice's fucking thing. So I don't know if you can count that as like 3, but if you do, then this will be like the second time where a nation will have like 3 boss fights. The only, which is funny, I think the only one nation that has like one boss fight, like an end boss fight, is Natlin, and that's like the one with Shavlonk, with the whole with the Dragon Sovereign, I believe. But yeah, uh, okay, going back to the boss fight with Dottore, the new Dottore boss fight. It looks like they explained a lot of it. Like he had like new gimmicks and new stuff. They especially mentioned him having copies of like the Archon's like signature attacks. Basically the one they showed off the most was Raiden Shoguns because since he was like, well, I guess because this was like involving the Wanderer, which would make sense since they did work together at one point when it came to Sumeru. So it makes sense. And then what else did I write down regarding the Archon quest? Oh, okay. So apparently, well, as per usual, right? Everyone from Sumeru comes together. So we get all the guys in, like Tainari, Sino, Sethos, the Yaoi lovers, Kave and Alhaitham. I don't think we see Nilu. I think Nilu is the only exception. We definitely get Nahida for sure. And then who else? Don't remember who else we get. Oh, I think Dia's not there either. So I think that's 2 characters that's basically not available. I believe Layla was mentioned, but I think that's only because of another reason why we'll talk about it in a second. But then out of nowhere, I fucking popped off. I fucking popped off so fucking hard when I saw it. Fucking Jet from the Sumeru World Quest comes back, and I was losing my shit because there's obviously, right, one, she's involved in this. Now I don't know if it's just like a flashback thing where they usually do like, oh hey, like they show off characters from like that were involved in Sumeru at some point, but like during your past adventure, and it goes with the same case because I was gonna mention Layla was involved in that as well. They actually brought up the Sumeru side event that we did like a couple of months ago, where it was involving Layla like not getting sleep, and then she went to like the pyramids, and then the king Iblis was there, which involved Nephra as well, obviously. Fuck, I'm getting off track with that, but yeah, that's what the thing I wanted to mention beforehand. But the only other reason I was thinking that like this is probably like one of the most exciting things involving Jet, because that was a world quest, and like the world quest usually, if mostly at all, they don't have voice acting. So if Jet comes to the Archon quest, she might be voiced, and I'm very curious of who they chose to voice her, because like I'm like, this could be anybody. This is like one of like the Jet is like one of the like the best side girl fucking waifu characters. Like what was it? What do you call it? It was Jet, Zeitlin. Zeitlin was like one of them. The girl from Inazuma. Sorry, I know I mentioned that like nation like a couple minutes ago. The Miko one. Not Yai Miko, but like the other Miko. And then we also had Mary Ann, which was very nice as well. And then Natrashka. Sorry. Oh, Napochka, sorry, from Not Cry. Those are like probably some of the best like side girls out there when it involves like the world quest. So I'm very excited to see Jet back. Hopefully she is like a crucial part of like the whole Archon quest. That'd be great. And then I guess after they mention some of the events from Sumeru, if whatever reason, if you guys don't remember like the story behind Sumeru, they said that they updated like the travel log to have like recaps of like what happened during your adventures, which is nice. Like I feel like that's also it's always a nice thing to have, like just like a recap of whatever you like need to like remember for like the current story event. And then they also did like something nice as well with the whole updates on like where your save progress is, because and this is actually one of those things that's actually like one of those nice quality of life changes, because obviously, right, we had this issue in when we were doing like the Not Cry Archon quest where we progressed a lot, but then we didn't know when to stop, because like it was kind of a hard breakthrough to see where we can end things off. We didn't know where there was a breaking point. So they actually gave like a little notification for like the they gave like a notification for autosave. So like when the next break happens, that's when that's when the save will like come up. So you know when to take a break when a story quest is like too long. So that's like a very good thing to have for sure for future updates. Like whenever we do these type of like Archon quests, because obviously, right, we do these Archon quests like on the day of release. And usually, I guess since Not Cry, right? Not Cry takes usually like 4 to 8 hours, and obviously, right, we need a break at some point. So yeah, and we do these like late at night, so it makes things a lot harder for us to like, keep going when we're already kind of like in the fatigue moment. So again, the whole notification for like an autosave really helps, so we know when to stop and then take a break and then continue on the day after. So it's very nice. Okay, and then they finished that up, talking about the Archon quest, and then the next thing they went up to was the characters that are coming up in like per banner, right? So the first one they did was Nicole, and my effing god, I think they went too much with, well, I wouldn't say too much, because I think the hardest they went with was Columbina, and Columbina was like the exception because she was like the character of Not Cry. Like she was basically the entire focal point of Not Cry storyline. But I think with this one they also went a little bit too hard with Nicole. Not saying it's a bad thing, trust me. This is like a really good thing. This is like a character who's stupid OP as character lore, and they tried to implement it like in combat, and it kind of shows off. So basically, Nicole is a pyro wielder. Like, well, she uses like the pyro element. Who's also a catalyst, which is like probably which makes the most sense of anything. But her her role is basically support, but in the good way, right? Basically, this character is a buffer, like provides shields, and also does off-field damage in like the craziest way possible. At least the way they explained it, right? So, like, and this is basically your best support. They really made Nicole be like your best support. This is like a character you, like, it's like a must-have to like any team because she does mostly everything, right? Um, like she just does like not only like she buffs attacks for like characters, she does like a bunch of interactions like power like elemental reactions. She provides defense, and then she also has a skill where she releases like a thing and that does off-field damage as well. It's like, what the hell? They really did so much with this character. And then she's also useful off combat as well. Apparently from what we've seen, she's able to find chests by using Seaweeds. And obviously, right, like throughout the game's history, Seaweeds have been like those fucking stupid little fucking flying things that fucking lead you to a chest, whether it's like a shitty common one, an exquisite, a precious, any of those. And the fact that she can just do that on her own is stupid. Like, it's stupid good. I think the only drawback is that you need to have the compass of that nation to do, to basically utilize that skill. Which isn't really that bad. If anything, it's only terrible when you're in a new nation, which is coming up like at the very end. Obviously, we'll talk about that when we get there. But anything else is basically is pretty much like ready to go because I'm assuming at this point you're gonna have like the compass for every nation available, so it's gonna be really good to have. And then what's that I write? Literally feels like she is a must-have. Yeah, like I mentioned, yeah, because this character just does like mostly everything. If anything, this character isn't a DPS or a healer, that's fine. Like, just put her in mostly any team. You're gonna have a healer anyways, and you're gonna have like a main DPS. Like, you basically have like one slot free, like of anything, of anyone. You can use anyone to basically fill that role, like whatever role that you need for the team. But basically, Nicole just does like mostly everything at this point. So. Which is why we're gonna be obviously following her for sure. And then also just as a bonus, she's a fucking Hexen Circle character, which makes sense. She is part of the group, so she gets that extra buff as well. I'm going to assume the ideal, or I guess if anything, I would say ideal, but I feel like this is gonna be more like fanficking at this point, but like I'm guessing the ideal two people you're gonna want in team is Varka and Nicole, right? It makes sense. Like, everyone's been shipping these two for like the longest time, which makes sense. I don't know. I'm just like, go with the flow, fucking follow it. And then the last thing on here I wrote regarding Nicole. So I guess since we're here, we can talk about it, right? We can show it off. So remember this thing, this lodge that we kind of helped, create. This becomes explorable. We can actually go inside Nicole's lodge, and it'll be like a new dungeon, basically. So there's gonna be a lot of things going on in here, which I can't wait, because the way they showed it off in the presentation is basically like, it felt like something out of like Alice in Wonderland, where everything was basically huge and we were like very tiny. But yeah, that's gonna be fucking cool to see. And then they also they tied it to showing off Prune, the other new character, the 4-star. she's gonna be part of the exploration of like Nicole's lodge. And then they explain how she's like tied to the story behind that, I think. And then we got to oops, I did not mean to do that. I apologize. And then we get to the introduction of Prune, where they basically explain how she works, what her character was. So she's basically part of like, well, no, sorry. She is a self-claimed witch hunter. We kind of already knew about this a little bit. When we were at Dormant Port, we heard a little bit of backstory between Prune and what she's like. Yes, like I already mentioned, she's a witch hunter. And apparently this is the reason why she is like this is because it's Alice's fault, I guess. If you guys remember, she kind of like shit talks about Alice in like the notice sign. Apparently Alice took someone away from her that was precious to her, and that's why she's kind of been hunting her down. I don't know what that means, like in like further detail, but I mean I would assume that's a good reason to kind of hunt down this person, basically a kidnapper of sorts, right? And you're trying to find out the truth. And then apparently there was a moment where, okay, so I have to say this because this is so stupid coming from me. I don't know why, but they were talking about like Prune and Alice being together. But Alice is like in her like Dodoko form, and then they were across like from the room from each other, and then they were talking about debate, and I was like, yo, wait, are we having like an Ace Attorney moment? I don't know why the fuck I thought that, but it felt like that was leading up to the case, which I would have found fucking hilarious if they actually did that. If they committed to that, that'd be great, because I would love to see like an Ace Attorney style like battle between Prune and Alice. Okay, and then we come to the, well, I don't know why I said it like that. Next they mention her combat style, which they mentioned a lot of times. It was very cute, and I can see why. She attacks with a giant hammer, which kind of reminds me of another fucking another entity that does the same thing. Talking about fucking you, Tikanton from fucking Pokemon. But yeah, she attacks with like a little like a hammer of sorts. I'm assuming this is like supposed to be a claymore. But yeah, she attacks with the hammer, and then she does like the cute little animations, including one where she kind of like trips off, or like she trips after like falling off her hammer, which is which again was very nice. And then one of the most important features that she has is her elemental. I don't know if it was an elemental skill or her burst. I might have to come back to it, but apparently, like using the ult / skill, creates or like summons a bell that does like off field damage, and follows the character around, like off-field animal damage. So basically she's like a heavy swirl character. So she's basically utilizing like a lot of those swirl reaction type of like teams. And then I guess for whatever reason, she's part of the Hexen Circle thing as well. So she also gets the buff if another Hexerite character is in the party. Again, I understand Nicole, obviously, because it makes sense. I don't understand why Prune is part of the Hexen Circle. It's very weird, because I don't think... She's supposed to be a witch hunter, which is supposed to be against the Hexen Circle, supposedly. So I don't know why she's part of like the Hexen Circle. I'm guessing we're just gonna have to like figure that out when we do her like a little story quest. So okay, and then after that they showed off what the character banner will look like. So for the first half of the update, they're going to have Nicole and Durin rerun, and Prune as like the 4-star character you can get. Obviously, right, we're going to get Nicole for sure. New character. I think I might also get her signature weapon. Obviously, it's going to cost a lot for sure, just to get the 2. But I think it'll be totally worth it if we're going to be using Nicole in the future a lot. Because again, this character feels like a must-have if you're kind of like wanting to like just go all out. And then after that, they also showed off 2 new artifact sets that you can get. I'm guessing this is gonna be in. I can only say this is like in the dungeon of like Nicole's place. I don't know where else we can like slap it in. Like you could put it like maybe near Dornan Port, but it makes sense if you put it in like Nicole's lodge apparently. But yeah. And then I guess like a funny thing that they did like during intermission, like when we were waiting for like the next segment to come up, they did like I guess like a 4th wall break. I don't know if you like. I don't know if you would call it 4th wall per se, because obviously, right, Alice is like one of those characters who can just break the 4th wall out of nowhere and just, you know, do her thing. So she basically does that. She kind of just talks during the intermission and kind of like gives like a brief story on how Nicole is heroic, per se, which is like a nice touch. I do like that, how they did that. To just basically kind of conclude like Nicole's section. And then we get to the next section, and I think okay, I didn't write it on here, but I felt like I had to talk about it, because I think they tried to overhype this character like he is stupid good. Like he also feels like he must be a must-have for a team. I don't see it. Like, and it sucks because this is a character. Well, okay, obviously, right? Lohan is the new character in this, right? Lohan. Okay, well, let's go through the notes first, and then we'll talk about my opinion of how this is. Okay, so Lohan has his own little opening, his own little like skit where he's announcing himself as the new character to be released in the second half, of like the update. And like it was nice and all. I did kind of like it. It was kind of entertaining. So they explained his characteristics and his skills as a character. Basically, Lohan is, I guess what I wrote here, a combat fanatic. He is just, his brain thought is just, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight everything. Anything and everything, basically. They mentioned like in his, like in one of like the teasers for like when it was like Varka's story, like there was a letter of like excuse from Lohan saying like, oh, I'm gonna go take a leave of absence to fight the monsters. But then the fool just leaves anyways to fight the monsters, like in Notcry. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, he's a combat fanatic. That's like basically what I wrote here. Um, and basically, I think the way I didn't write it on here for whatever reason, but I felt like for some reason he feels very like it's like kind of a weird mix where I feel like he's a mix of Rosaria and Eula at the same time because it's like one of those things like I feel like um not like well he has like the speed of Rosaria, right? Like he oh my god, I did it again. Um he basically has like the speed of Rosaria because he's a pole arm user. He uses like the spear to attack. But I think like reason why I said he feels like Eula is because he also like just excels at like just close combat, right? Like close combat range. Cause like obviously I think Eula just also fights like head on. Don't quote me on that, but like this is just my opinion. And like I don't know, it just feels like he's just like mid, where he's supposed to be like really good, right? But for some reason he's just mid, and I'll get to that in a second. But one of they mentioned that he has like a couple unique traits to him, especially one where they highlighted how he has a unique like I guess talent or like I'd rather say quirk, but like he has this thing where he basically competes with your other party members that are in the team for high damage. And one of the examples that they showed off was which is ironic because we're gonna be mentioning it like later, but Maoika, right? Maoika is classified I think as like she has like the highest DPS of all characters in the game, if like built well or like built optimally. She basically does tons of fucking damage, like whether it's like just like in a like progressive or like in an all-out burst, right? And basically Lohan says, oh, you did that much damage? I think I could do better. So he basically just tries to outdo the other party members' damage. So he tries to aim to get close to, if not surpass, like the damage cap that they did. Which I don't know how that's gonna work in game. Because again, this is like you're trying to do something to this character where I don't think it should be a thing, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, they mentioned how I think one of his talents is one of his skills goes up a level, and it's has like that duration of going longer if the other characters in your team are higher level, like talent wise. So it can go for a really long time if one of your characters is like level 13 in a talent, which is nice. Again, this is like one of those things, like this is like what this type of character needs to basically catch up to like all the other characters. Also, I guess we can talk about this. Yeah, for some reason he's also a Hexing Circle character. So, yeah, I guess for whatever reason, all three of these characters, well, with the exception of one, is the obvious. They're all Hexerite characters, and I questioned myself. I was like, why? I don't get it. Like, Nicole, yes, the obvious makes sense. Prune is like a 50-50. Yes, she hangs out with like some of the other Hexen Circle characters, like Klee, obviously. But then you go to Lohan and you're like, why? Is that something like I missed in like in his character backstory or something? And it kind of just occurred to me like, yeah, it probably is something like to akin of that, because again, there's gonna be more to his fucking story quest than anything. But yeah, yeah, okay, so I guess I did write it down. Yeah, so I don't know if it's just me, and again, this is my opinion. Like I could be wrong in this. But I feel like they really tried to hype this character up. Like if he was a really good 5-star character. Now, don't get me wrong, and I believe I blame the leakers for this. Apparently, this character is supposed to be a standard character. A standard character is basically the characters that you get from a standard wish, like that you don't get any. Well, you can only get. Well, no, I was gonna say these are the characters that you basically lose your 50-50 on if you try to go for a character in the character banner. And then this is also a character which has its own separate banner for only standard characters. So like Dilu, Keqing, Jean, Tainari, Dia, Chi-Chi, who else am I missing? Mizuki, those type of characters. So he's supposed to be that type of character, and like it would make sense because the way his character style is, it just feels so mid. Like they really tried to, like I said, they really tried to hype this character up to be like a decent 5-star. Like what they did with Varka. Varka, like I feel like this is like the Varka treatment where this is a character that he's hyped up for. Like, well, Varka is like the exception because Varka has been like, you know, like Varka was like the mysterious guy. He was like, we've been waiting 5 years for this character to release. We finally get to see him, and then when he came out, people had mixed feelings for him. He was like, he was just above average. And I think the same thing can be said to Lohan, because you're trying to compare a character to one that was introduced earlier who basically just does everything else for your team. And Lohan is like the opposite of that. He is like, sure, he helps with like I guess dealing extra damage, but that's only because if you switch off to other characters and do higher damage than he does, which he tries to compete for. Again, which is nice, but it's like, why? I don't know, maybe this is just me, and I blame the leakers for doing so. Like, again, could be wrong. Like, sure, he might be a standard character. He might not be. Like, those could be wrong. Like, the leakers could be wrong, and like he might not be a standard character, and that'd be okay. It's just the way he was just presented. It just lacks a lot compared to Nicole, where they just did so much for her. Like this, they explained how she is just the character you need to have compared to Lohan. I said Logan. Fucking. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not mad at the fact. I don't know. Maybe I just feel disappointed. But, I don't know. I mean, if anything, we're gonna be pulling for him regardless. Just to see how he feels. Because in the second half, which they showed off which characters they're gonna like put up for the banner. We're gonna have Lohan, and then we're also gonna have Malwika, which is why I said it was ironic that I said Malwika was like a perfect example, because Malwika is like your highest DPS, and then you also have Lohan, who's trying to compete for that. So again, it just makes sense that it's just like that. I mean, hey, I'm a huge Malika fan. I like big damage. But I don't. That's why I said I'm gonna try to pull for Lohan instead of like trying to buff Malika up. Lohan's a new character. We at least had to try him. Malika, I'm already satisfied with her. She's good in basically like a lot of teams. Like obviously, right? She's like her best team is what is it? Melt reaction with Silali, Shilonen, and um I wanna say is it Farina? I believe so. Um but yeah, like she's the best in those teams. She's also good with like doing off-field damage with her skill. Like just a lot in general. So like I said, I'm already satisfied with Malika's, and I'm just gonna try to pull Lohan. I won't pull for his signature weapon. But yeah, we'll definitely give Lohan a shot, see if he works or not. But yeah. And then after the Lohan thing, we get to the side event that they do usually between either the first half or the second half, depending on which one. And this one, oh god, did I really have to say this? Okay, so obviously, right, they teased how, oh, Alice teases like, oh, like this group is up and coming, they're like, they're causing, like they're basically like potentially gonna bring destruction to the world, but it was just like a joke because everyone was thinking, oh, it's the Hexen Circle. Oh, we kind of knew that already. And then Alice was like, no, it's just like a mini Hexen Circle group. And everyone was like, wait, what do you mean? And then they showed off the 5 little girls as part of like the group. So we have Klee, Chi-Chi, Yao Yao, Sayu, and Prune all becoming part of the new mini Hexen Circle group. And I don't know why I wrote this on here. My first impression was the lowly group. I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, oh no, we're gonna have some big old trouble, aren't we? The fandom is going to go insane. A lot of potential danger is gonna happen. All that bullshit jazz. But yeah, they're having a little thing going on. I think what the idea was, I think they said that they were having like a training session. So they kind of like talked a little bit about it, and then they showed off like the mini games that were gonna come from each character. And we'll go in reverse order for this. Oh no, actually no, we'll just go as order as intended. So the first one they showed off, and I don't know why my first impression of this was, are we playing Klee, or are we playing golf with Klee? Like, is that what it looks like? Because I was like, basically the idea of it is you're supposed to shoot a bomb next to a Dodoko. But it looked like it had like the golf gameplay mechanics, and that's why I thought it was like, oh, it's golf with Klee? I was like, sure, why not? It's something new that they haven't really tried. And then the next one, which is from Chi-Chi and Yao Yao, is the usual platform puzzles that they usually do, where you guide like a little mascot to like the end goal. and then picking up any little bonuses along the way, that type of bit. So that one's pretty good. I do like those every so often. Um, and then the next one, which was from Sayu. I guess the best way I can describe this, and I wrote it down literally. Just think of it as Subway Surfers, like the fucking stupid fucking game where you have like the 3 lanes and you just run and collect all the little resources. That type of it, basically that. Which is funny because I think they also did something like that in Millions from Wonderland. But we'll get to that fucking portion in a bit. And then the last mini game that they had was with Prune, and basically it's combat challenge. As per usual, there's always a combat challenge for those type of like events. And it makes sense it's with Prune because Prune is not like, even though she's a child, she acts like in a more mature sense. So she thinks like, oh hey, all these kids are like, you know, doing kiddie stuff, so I might as well be like the one to like bring in the adult type of stuff. So it's kind of one of those things. And then the rewards for this is very similar to the one that they did with the Homeward one with Varka. So instead of like another weapon, a 4-star weapon, it's another weapon skin. And I don't remember the name of the weapon because I forgot to write it down. But I don't know why I wrote this instead. Apparently we're in fucking Kingdom Hearts now because apparently the weapon skin is a key. Well, it's labeled as a key. Now that was like literally my first impression of it. It's like, well, I guess we're in Kingdom Hearts now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the side event. And then the extra small stuff that's remaining, basically we have 2 small events again. Trials of the Brave Warrior and Kaleido Color Chase. I don't think they really went like into detail with that, so we'll probably see that when it comes up. And then they also added new content for Genius Invocation TCG, 3 new cards. I don't remember the third one, but they added Lauma and Flint to the card pool, which is very cool. I do like when they add more characters in. Echoed Visionage, the reward you get from the Imaginarium Theater, as like a side note. They're adding Navia and the Wanderer as an option, which I think we'll try at one point for sure. We still need to work on the Raiden Shogun one. One day we'll get it. But I at least want to try it with Navia. And then they're also adding new music to the repertoire of Myriad Melodies. The Hexray music, basically. Involving those. But yeah, which is nice. I played a lot more of like the musical games, I guess. Like the musical rhythm games. Both in Genshin and in Fortnite. Just because. Just get the level ups. But I've been getting to those more recently, so that's a good thing. And then they actually updated one of the ongoing events that usually happens every month or 2 or so. Basically the event where you work 8 weeks or you play 5 days, 8 weeks in a row. To get a Stella Fortuna for one of your characters. They basically added extra goals if you played past the 8 weeks. Which isn't like too big, but it's a nice touch to have. Like it's basically free rewards for doing more than the required 8 weeks. And then I believe that's it for all of Genshin Impact. Obviously, they did Milliastra Wonderland, which we'll talk about like in a bit. It's not too much, honestly. So basically, Milliastra Wonderland gets a new theme. Apparently, it's involving butterflies. I don't know why. I think my first impression when I saw it was I thought we were like in a dream world because everything looks so purple, and the only thing that reminded me of it was Mizuki, like the one with the with the tapir. Like obviously, right? They eat dreams to make people happy. Well, they eat like the bad stuff from like dreams to make people happy. That's why I thought it was like the dream thing, but apparently it was like laid out as like a butterfly thing, and I was like, okay, whatever. They added like a cool little thing where if you bring your mannequin or mannequina to the vat, you can actually do all the poses that you were able to do in Milliastra Wonderland to vat, which is kind of cool. Like it's like a nice little touch that they added. They didn't really have to do it, but I mean, it was pretty cool nonetheless. And then they also added like a new feature where you can randomly change your outfits as you're doing matchmaking. So, like you do a matchmaking game, and then one of the outfits you create will randomly pop up. So, it's basically a way to like not stick to one outfit per game, or like per like every time you go in, you don't have to like do like the leisure like switching in and out to like another outfit, because that usually takes time, and then people want to show off like all their cute little outfits that they put together. And then apparently there's also a Milliastra event going on during that update, which apparently is about sports, I guess. I don't know. I think this definitely was like a section where I kind of just dozed the fuck off, or like kind of like had something else in the back, or I had this in the back while I was doing something else. And then I guess the last thing that they added was like the new updates to like editor, which is always nice, like improved quality of life changes for like the editor, like so that's pretty much it, honestly. Again, the Milliastra Wonderland stuff, I kind of like didn't really pay much attention. Again, it's nice for those guys, like those guys that actually do create maps and whatnot. But yeah, it's not something for me. I just basically go on Milliastra Wonderland to grind for, I guess anything, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, just for like any of the free rewards that they offer, and then the battle pass, since it's included in the when you actually buy the actual battle pass for Genshin Impact. But yeah, I think with that should be it. Oh, and then the one last thing that we have to talk about, or we have to at least mention. So the last thing they did before they ended things off, they showed a teaser trailer for Shesnaya. The whole nation and how it works is probably going to be insane. We get to see the traveler walk inside the train. He's riding on it. Things get distorted, like inside the train and outside the train. We get to see a little bit of combat action between like a mysterious character, and then the traveler using his new cryo skill he gets from the statue. Which also, by the way, we also get to see the statue, and we finally get to see a glimpse of what the Sarisa looks like, which hopefully it pans out the same as the statue, because I can't wait to see what the Sarisa truly looks like. And then the one final thing they teased all the way back in behind the scenes of Shesnaya. So in behind the scenes of Shesnaya, like we mentioned this before, we didn't talk about it. Um, they showed off a new character skin for the Traveler, and so happens in this teaser trailer they showed off the new character skin, but they also showed him wielding a gun, shooting the Fatui soldier, and just kind of in like scout mode, basically. And I was like fucking hyped because we get to see like that shit happen in the game. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see if we actually get to utilize a gun mechanic in Genshin Impact, right? I assume it would be like the bow, but I don't know. I'm just hoping we get to have that gameplay when it comes to Shesnaya, which I think will be like 2 updates away apparently. Oh my goodness. And I think with that, that should be everything they did for the presentation. They basically showed off the schedule release for the update. I only pinned down the important ones. So officially on May 20 is the official release for Luna 7. Our schedule is slightly ahead of that. It comes out, at least for us, it comes out the day before, which will be May 19, around 8 or 9 p.m. PST, which is very good. I don't know if we're going to be doing the Archon quest or anything else of the sort. I will have to... That one will be a gamble for sure. Yeah, we'll see. And then 2 days after that, May 22, will be the side event, the one we talked about with the Mini Hexen Circle group, called Phantasmal Pals. So that will go on for about 2 weeks. And then after that, the next one will be June 8, which is like one of the first small events, which is the Trials of the Brave Warrior. The day after, June 9, will be the second half of the banner, which will be with Lohen and the story quest. And then the last thing will be June 18, which is the Kaleidoscope Color Chase. But yeah, I think with all that, we pretty much got through everything. What I think of this presentation, very good. I always love progression, like story progression in anything. So this is definitely one of the ones we've been waiting for a very long time. Last story update we actually ever got was, all the way back in Luna 4, which was, I want to say that was like 3 months ago at this point, I believe. God, if it's really been that long, then holy shit, man. We've been itching for a new story, like a new story quest. And this is definitely gonna be it. Characters, love all the characters. I know I talked shit about Lohen a lot, but I mean we're still excited for him to come out. And we'll test him very soon when it gets to that point. And then the side event as well is gonna look fun. It looks fun. Very excited to see what they do with that. And yeah, I think now with that, we should be done. So yeah, I guess with that, we'll end things off here. Like I mentioned, it's probably like a very long one indeed. I want to check how long this was, minus the beginning stuff we did with the rapid capture. Oh, that was too bad. We actually got through an hour, as per usual. I feel like it should be per usual. Yeah, I'm like, I'd always love talking about like the next stuff that's coming up. We'll probably do this again when Luna 8 comes out, which will be like, I guess, another month or two. So I'm always really excited for that. But yeah, with that, we'll end things off here for sure. So this is Kirdia signing out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Or rather, thank you guys so much for hearing me talk my ass off about Luna 7. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys take care of yourselves, and as always, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day / evening. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay. Bye, everyone.